This campaign is about putting new seasonal looks at the heart of the advertising, showcasing them in a way that acknowledges it's coming from the original and definitive brand. To say this is what we are as Levi's. We're not trying to be anybody else. We're proud to be this. And it's a business strategy as well as a communication strategy. And I'm so pleased that product is going back as hero of all this, absolutely central to everything we're doing.
I'm Caroline Pay. I am Levi's creative director. Receiving the brief for a new campaign is always exciting. When you get a Levi's brief, times that by 10. But on this project, I'd say we probably had a quarter of the time we needed. So yeah, it was kind of full steam ahead all the way through till we flew to Prague. The brief was kind of twofold. It was all about making original people feel that they would look great in Levi's, but more than that, it was to reinstate Levi's as the original dean.
The brief was good. The brief was very open. The brief was where can Levi's go? What big thought can Levi's have that can run for the next 5, 10 years?
We needed to evolve their original end thought, which is the original.
So the genius aspect was adding the word from.
Dean and Steve, I love them. I think they're brilliant. They are incredibly thoughtful and clever. They pick up on detail more so than most people I've ever worked with, and they really bowled us over with their idea.
We were looking for a way of showing the history of Levi's, but trying to keep it sort of sexy and playful and fun and all those kind of things that Levi's is all about. I think once you come up with the idea of taking clothes off and revealing other clothes underneath, it seemed like quite a natural way of doing a kind of simple time travel story that would still, you know, be engaging and be sexy, which is kind of really important for Levi's. It's the timeless story of love and sex and passion.
It's a hardcore sex scene.
The set was amazing. Totally realistic.
It was brilliantly exciting because we got a feel for the size of the set, and it was just really interesting to see how everybody's expertise came together. I think that was the moment when everyone got really excited and really could picture the film.
Well, we start off in 1873 with a sort of couple crashing into the room, and they can't wait to tear each other's clothes off, and they're all sort of dressed in the style of 1873, and the room is 1873, their hair and everything is of that era. And as they tear each other's clothes off, they reveal sort of successive generations of Levi's.
Looked at 20 to 25, 30 different periods, and then through those found the ones that were really key.
From the workwear of 1873 to the 50s glamour for women to the 70s hippies and the 70s to a bit of 80s, and then finally we end up in 2007 with our heroes in the new outfit.
All these changes seem to happen as a result of Levi's. Levi's are always the way of switching between decades. They're always the link.
The three directors that were on the table were all brilliant directors, but Ringen does a real sexy, he does a romantic, evocative, cinematic sexy. So I knew from working with him before, from seeing his reel and his treatment, that he would give us something really special. His vision was even clearer than ours. That's a dream come true when you've got a director like that.
I wanted the thing as the film, as well as being sexy and raw, that it should be quite playful as well. It's a very simple, strong idea, which I think is kind of very much in keeping with like all the good kind of Levi's adverts of the past.
I think what was brilliant about Ringen was that he was very faithful to the idea right from the start. We wanted it to be very much so focused around our couple and the intensity of the relationship between them. He just brought that to life with lovely subtlety and a total realism of the way the couple react to each other throughout.
Needed actors for this who could just, you know, have that sort of energy between them, which I think Ringen brilliantly captured.
We had a hair, makeup and wardrobe day, before we went into shoot, which meant that we could finalise the look for each era.
They all had to look totally authentic. So there were jeans there that were maybe 80, 90 years old.
We had a fashion historian involved, and also Glenn and Erin were hugely influential on the styling of every era, but also sourcing everything. So they'd use the Levi's archive, and this was amazing because it meant that we could get everything spot on. Everybody worked as quickly as they possibly could, but it still worked out that we had to do a 16-hour day and then a 20-hour day.
Started at 8 in the morning and didn't finish till 9 o'clock the following morning, so that was fun.
You know, it was exhausting and it was strenuous, but it was fun, and everybody was brilliant at what they do. But when it gets to 3:30 in the morning in Hitler's studio in Prague, you know, it's good to have a sense of humour. The structure of the script, it meant that we had to shoot chronologically, and that meant that we could only shoot 2007 at the end, but that was our most important part of the film.
You know, that's the big money shot as far as Levi's and us is concerned, because that's what it's all been leading up to. And there's a big moment of kind of a reveal when we title up the new collection.
Ringen had done a big rehearsal with them before, so we knew what the action was going to be. He'd gone through a technical rehearsal with all his crew before, so we knew the angles that we were going to be shooting at. So there were no horrible surprises when we got to the 2007 shoot. It just so happened to be in the middle of the night. When we finally wrapped, which was about 6 o'clock in the morning, there was about 10 seconds of relief that it was finally shot, and then I just could not wait to see the first cut because I was so thrilled with everything I'd seen on the monitor. So huge expectation from the whole agency.
The main objective with the film from the beginning was getting the right performances, getting the tone right, but there was always a technical challenge of how we're going to accomplish the in-camera transitions between certain eras. First one being where Leah, our heroine, undoes her sleeveless overalls to reveal a sleeved, a pink Marilyn Monroe 50s style top. And the second one being where our couple pull over their tops to kind of reveal a big style change into the 70s. So both of those shots were done with 2 key plates and had to be come together, but again, they were handheld, so it was quite tricky. I think Phyllis at the Millers achieved creating these impossible shots in camera without in any way contriving the action or even drawing attention to how they were put together.
We have to follow some of the best advertising that's been, and I don't think you'll get anything more sexy, real and playful than this film. I honestly think people will breathe a sigh of relief and say that's the Levi's that I remember, and I'm glad they're back.
Once I had a strange love, a mad sort of insane love, a love so fast and fierce I thought I'd die. Yes, once I had a strange love, a pure but very plain love, a love that burned like fire through a field. And once I had a strange love, a publicly acclaimed love, the kind of love I've seen in magazines. And then there was that strange love, that vulgar and profane love, the kind of love that we don't talk about. You see, I've had some strange love, some good, some bad, some plain love, some so-so love. So what? And c'est la vie. Just let me proclaim, love, that out of all this strange love, you're the strangest love I've ever known.